Hello, beautiful souls. This is Leah coming back to you. And if you are new here, I want to welcome you. I'm so excited that you're here. And if you're returning, thank you. Thank you for coming back and listening again. I love this opportunity to connect with you. I love hearing back from you. So thank you to all of those that are emailing and DMing me. I love to hear it. So keep that up. And if you're new, do the same. So I am here to talk to you today about something that I've been feeling for a very long time, and I've woven it into various episodes of this podcast, and I use it regularly when I'm working with my clients, whether it's one-on-one, whether it's in consulting with women CEOs and entrepreneurs, or whatever form it takes. And that is, it is time for us as women to stop playing small. I know we've heard it. I know it's catchy as a phrase. The reality of it goes much deeper than the words convey at face value. I want you to think about something. I want you to think about if you're like me, like you were told often in your life, you're too much, you talk too much, you're just always on and your energy is high and all of the things. Basically saying you're too big, right? So I think particularly for women, we get this more than say our male counterparts. And we tend, especially us older women in business that have been in business for decades, either self-employed or running companies or executives or wherever we were in the management spectrum, it's been male dominated forever, just the structures and the communication styles, etc. That's a whole different podcast episode. But for this one, it when you hear that, you're too much, you're too this, too fill in the blank. And we've all heard it. I don't care if we're entrepreneurs or not. Women, as a woman, we have likely all heard it in one way or another. Even going as far back to elementary school, I can remember saying, stop talking to your neighbor, stop helping your neighbor, Leah. You need to get back to focusing on working on your work, even if I was already done with my work. It was always about containment, if you will. And I feel like that in me, and again, as I've seen in clients and friends that are entrepreneurs and working in businesses, that it gets into your soul. You hear that enough times that you internalize it, whether it's conscious or unconscious. And I think unconscious is even worse because we don't even realize that it's there. We don't realize how it may be sabotaging how we are showing up in the world, how we are presenting to our clients, our potential clients, to people that work with us, that we work with, in companies that we work for. It is subtle, and it's time that we bring it to the forefront. So many of us, many of you have heard me over and over again talking about now is the time, right? We see women leaders rising. We had the women's leadership all up the chain of command, if you will, including in the vessel itself in the Artemis 2 space voyage, which I'm going to do more on that as it relates to women and leaders and that whole amazing experience. It's prevalent, and they'll focus on women's sports and women's performance on their own terms in the Olympics. I mean, it's just so refreshing to see it starting to come to light. It is nowhere near the parity of what we're seeing and hearing from men and old patriarchal institutions and systems and all of that. However, I'm encouraged because it's starting to blink through. It's starting to shine through a little bit. And what we get to do is we get to go in there and just rip it open. I think of it like a worn piece of material that is worn out and old and time to be tossed aside, and just how it gets soft and you can just rip it with your hands. That's the way that I'm envisioning it, right? We just grab it, rip it open, and move forward. And in order to do that, we have to realize a couple of things. Number one, we are here for a purpose, and the purposes vary as much as we do as individual women. And it's not always a one purpose for life kind of thing. And I think we were taught that early on in personal development and things like that, right? You have a purpose and that's your life. I don't believe that. I believe we have core desires to impact that are in our soul that come out in all that we do. And I believe that our purpose can be fine tuned to a specific event, to a specific encounter, and it can be as big as our purpose in this life at this moment. So there's a lot of space in that range, if you will. So just know that if you're like, I don't know what my purpose is and I don't know this and that, don't worry, it's there. I do so much work with women that helps weave that soul and strategy together. As you know, that is my foundation. Soul plus strategy equals alignment. And that's the key, is weaving that into who we are and how we show up every day and recognizing how important that is. Number two, women, I believe, really during the pandemic got more clear than ever before on how they wanted to work in the world. Whether that meant I really miss being in person and face to face every day, or hey, I kind of like this use Zoom, a remote work opportunity, or a combination of both. And I also know that because of the change in the responsibilities on both sides of the equation, the more and less as parents, as women business owners, as women working in businesses, that we were able to gain some clarity on how to best maximize what serves us or know what serves us as individuals, and then parlaying that into how we could develop that in our work, whether for someone else or for ourselves. Number three, to prove that women in business, the numbers of women starting businesses have increased dramatically. I have my little statistic here that I wanted to share with you. The number of women entrepreneurs have increased 69% since 2019. This data is 2024 data, the most recent that we have. So that's 5 years. In 5 years, the number of women entrepreneurs have increased by 69%. No coincidence that the pandemic is smashed in that time period, right? So I just want you to know that you're not alone, no matter where you are on your employment journey, self or otherwise, that the time for us to step out is now. And it is more important now than ever before because our voices are needed. Being a woman that is high achieving and high impacting and wants more of that can be very lonely and isolating, regardless of your work situation, regardless of your social family friend situation, because it feels so, it is so very important. It's a part of who we are, and it can feel so isolating when you don't have anyone to talk to about it. And the next step of that is being able to talk openly and vulnerably to another woman about it, right? We have so much baggage around perfection and not asking for help and not wanting to seem like not all together and all of those things. And what I really want you to know is that most of us would love to have those conversations. And we're not always the one that feels okay starting the conversation, right? Like, hey, I'm really having a challenge in this area. What is your experience? What do you see? It is life changing when you can have that conversation, whether it's a friendship and you have an ongoing conversation, or it's a one off conversation that you have with someone in business that you run into at a coffee shop or an event. And just a simple exchange sometimes makes all of the difference. And we cannot show up that way for ourselves or anyone else if we are not stepping into our power. If we are playing small, those things just kind of go over our head. We miss the opportunity. We miss the option to ask because we are not feeling confident. We are not feeling like we are playing big and playing full on and living out our vision and our dream and our impact, that impact that we are here, that is connected to our purpose and our values. If we don't connect to that, it's impossible to show up big, right? Because then you're not clear and you're bobbing around, if you will. So my message is multifaceted today, the core of which is it's time to step up and step out, which you've heard me say over and over again. And the time for playing small may have served us in the past. Some of us did that for survival. Some of us did that because we didn't know any better. Some of us did that just because that's the way that it was. And you're cruising along in a decades long career, and that's just kind of the way that it was. And it could be the way that some people want it, right? Our messaging as women, our impact as women is unique. And now more than ever, that uniqueness and those gifts that we carry, again, in our soul, are why we're here. And there are people waiting for us. There's no time to waste. We are chucking along here one day at a time, and there is only the present moment in this present moment. So the key is not losing sight of that and really being clear on what it is you want, how you want to show up, how you want to be perceived, how you want to impact, how you want to make changes in this world, whether it is in your niche, in your neighborhood, in your community, in your state, in your nation, or entirely around the world. Which, if it is, let's go, sister. Let's do this. Because women are waiting for us. We're waiting for each other. Whether it's someone to connect with and feel comfortable and vulnerable and be able to have that conversation with, if it's someone that needs our services, our products, the business that we do that we love, whether it's just someone that needs to hear one word of encouragement, fleeting sometimes is all it takes. I want you to remember that you are important. You are worthy of all things. You are powerful beyond measure. And it is time to stop playing small with any of that, with all of that, and step up in power and step out as your powerful self. There are so many of us out there that would love to connect with you, share words of encouragement, just say hi, check in. So keep your eyes and your energy open for that, so that if you're ready, that person will appear. That woman is here in my community, in your community. Let's not be shy. Let's really take it up a notch and step out and connect. And we are changing this world one person at a time. I am so fortunate to be here with you all, and I'm so grateful for you all. every single episode, I think of you as I'm thinking about how I'm going to come across, what I'm going to say in my message. And I want you to reach out anytime. You've got you can DM me on Instagram at Lead Loving Life. You can email me, Leah at leadlovinglife.com. And I look forward to seeing and hearing more from you. And if you would do me a favor, I would really appreciate it. Follow, subscribe, like, rate, comment, and share this podcast because I know there are so many of us out there looking for connection. And if I could add one more woman to listen to my podcast in this episode, my heart is full. So I want to thank you for everything, for being here and for sharing and commenting and reaching out. And just know that I am here for you and I am cheering you on heart and soul every single day. Big love to all of you. Until next episode.